Guys, now, this is what happens behind the curtains. You see, every time, there's a time that I was teaching, long time. It was back in 2019. I was doing a Facebook Live, and I had invited a coach from Ireland. So we were doing a Facebook Live, and she was a lady, so I was asking her questions. And we were talking about cheating in relationships. And it was cheating in a marriage, not just relationship where a boy and a girl loves themselves. But we were talking about cheating. How does cheating in marriage happen? Then it was so much about men, how men cheat. Then she was laughing. And then she told me that, John, why are you not asking me about women? Do you think it's only men who cheat in relationship, especially in marriage? Then I was like, yeah, in most cases, it is men being complained about cheating. Then she told me that now, let me handle it and tell you how women cheat in relationship. Then I was like, okay, let's go on. So she deduced a point which I have come to realize is true, that there are so many women out there who cheat with the most close people that you can always trust them with. How do women cheat? Thank you so much, Rimao, thank you for those flowers. You see, most of the married women don't go out to cheat with the men you don't know as a man. They cheat with the men you know. Your cousins, your uncles, your brothers, sometimes your nephew. Those are the people, married women, who cheat. You know, there are some women who have got the audacity not to keep to their lane, not just to stay in the marriage. They want to see other men outside. And because they can't go out, they do it with the people you trust most. The people that when the neighbor or somebody sees them coming into your house, nobody has a second thought. Everybody trusts them. Everybody says, oh, that's John going to his brother's house. Maybe he's going to have breakfast. Or maybe he's going to have lunch because maybe he's hungry. So your cousin coming to your home, to your house, nobody's going to suspect them, right? So those are the people, the women who are married cheat with. They cheat with the people who are so close to you as a husband. Your best friend that everybody knows around, that you bring at home and you watch football with in your house and you have some good time, then you leave. He's the one who's going to come back because he's got that trust from everybody. And he's the one who's going to sleep with your wife. I'm not saying everyone does that. I'm talking about those who cheat. And I'm talking about those friends who don't respect other people's affairs. Now, I was giving this example to bring you to what I want to talk about tonight. Tonight, I'm talking about the besties that you introduce in your relationships. If you're a woman and you have a bestie, a woman bestie, she's your best friend. The first thing that I want to tell you, the first mistake we do, sometimes is never a mistake from the man. Sometimes our men cheat, not because they want to cheat, but it is because we have pushed them to a level where they cannot control it anymore. You see, the gift you're receiving from your boyfriend, birthday presents, those birthday parties your bestie attends every day. The gift you receive, that watch, that shirt, that necklace, that car, that shoes, you always tell your bestie about it. And there's a video I did here on TikTok, and I said this. Everyone, each and everyone, including you, is a jealous person. We were born jealous. It is something that is in us. So it takes boldness, it takes somebody who's got courage, and somebody who has developed a loving heart and who knows that kindness is what the world wants, not to, show the jealousy outside there. So when you are having your besties seeing what your boyfriend, your fiancé, your man is doing for you, jealousy starts to come in. The question they start to ask themselves, why is this man not dating me and dating her? I wish that man was mine. When you leave Sometimes you're working together, or you are studying together, you are staying in the same hostel or staying in the same apartment. When you are leaving, somebody's telling you that you maybe you tell them that, I'm gonna meet my boyfriend. He has developed, or he has prepared a dinner today in a 7-star hotel. Then she's there with her mobile. Oh, I'm very happy for you. Really? Yeah. You're going to meet him in which hotel? No, we are going to Sheraton today to have a dinner together. And I don't know what he's got for me. You go for this dinner. When you come back, you come with an engagement ring, a golden engagement ring or a diamond engagement ring. And you come with lots of presents. And you tell your friend that, you know what? This is the aftermath of the meeting I had with my boyfriend. He has proposed to me. He's bought this, he's bought that. What happens naturally, and I'm not blaming your bestie, naturally, that is how we are made. Remember, in the story of the first humankind, we have the story of Abel and Cain. Remember, these were brothers, but jealousy led to one killing the other. So it is something that is in us. So you will not blame your bestie. Your bestie possibly could be having a man who doesn't do what your man is doing. So the first thing that runs into her mind is, why is that man not mine? So she will use the available opportunities. Most of the besties, those who have got the audacity, it is called the audacity to do trials and error to start seducing your man. It happens. And it will work behind you. Tell me, why would a man propose to you? Why would a man love you so much? To a point where you engage them. To a point where you see this relationship going to heights. Then, something just starts to change. Something starts to change. Maybe, by the time you introduce your bestie to them, things turn around. Things start to change. Sometimes you see your besties talking about your boyfriend so many times. You find that every time your bestie tells you, why don't you invite him? Why can't we go see him? Why don't you tell John, let's go for a dinner? Why don't we go for... You've got to be suspicious. You have to be careful because something is happening. And this is what I always tell ladies. Sometimes lie that you bought some things for yourselves. Stop boasting. Stop, showing your girlfriends, your friends that my boyfriend did this, my boyfriend did that. It is good. Everybody wants to feel like, I have a man who supports me. Everybody wants to feel like I have a woman who is faithful and supports me. But I told you this. Everyone in this world wants the best for you. But the problem is, no one wants you to be on their top. No one wants you to be better than them. Everyone will support you. They will support your relationship. They will be very happy when you are getting married. But if your wedding is gonna be more than theirs, they will never be happy. They will come, they will show faces, but the truth is, they will never be happy. So, your besties, stop introducing your besties to your men. Stop introducing your besties to your women. A relationship, especially love relationship, is a thing between two people. It is you and the man or the woman that you have agreed to be with in that relationship. As long as you bring the third party, your family, your brothers, your sisters, your friends, that relationship is over 3 people. And once it's over 2 people. Once a relationship becomes a relationship of more than 2, it is no longer a love relationship between the two of you. It is a community and a society unity. And you understand, in a society, in a community, there is a push and a pull. When you have a push and a pull, that's when relationships die. That's when things start to go wrong. So my message to you today, if you have a bestie, keep them to yourself. Draw a line between your relationship and your bestie. Draw a line between a relationship you have, your partner, and your brother. If you are a woman, if you're a man, and you have brothers, you have cousins, men, you have uncles, draw a line between them and your wife and your girlfriend and your fiancé, because no one wants to see you prosper more than them, including your uncles, including your brothers, including your cousins. Sometimes they will not want to sleep with your wife. Sometimes they will just want to destroy this relationship. Why? Because they can see that there's a progress here. This guy, if he stays with this woman, he's gonna build things more than us. So they will trigger. They will even try to, push your woman to a point where there will be a problem. If you are a woman, create a space and draw a line between your husband and your sisters, your husband and your aunties, your husband and your friends who are ladies, your boyfriend or your fiancé, because this is something that is totally ruining great relationships. You work so hard, you make a relationship, you find it, you mold it, you sacrifice so much, then you bring your bestie. And because of the good things that is happening here, the great things that your bestie sees in it, they want it for themselves. They have never gotten a man who does what your man does. They've never gotten a woman who does what your woman is doing. So you are a man, you are a woman, you get into a relationship, the relationship must always be of two people. But now, how do you handle your besties? Because sometimes it is good to hear from your besties. How do you introduce your besties to your relationship? Introduce your besties to your relationship to a capacity where they know to what limit they have. See, this is a mistake we do. Is another mobile phone? I don't have it. Let me use a remote. It's so close to me. You introduce your bestie that, you know what? Hi, baby. This is Patrick. Patrick is my colleague at work. He's my junior, or he's my manager. We work with him. We are friends. We've been friends since the time of college, and we got a job in the same company, so we've been doing work together. Then Patrick, meet my wife, or meet my fiancé, or meet my girlfriend. We've been dating for the last 7 years, blah, blah, blah. Then these people shake hands, right? They will shake hands. And maybe at that time, there will be no that kind of forces. They will just shake hands, and then they're like, oh, wow, that's nice. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you, Patrick. Nice to meet you, Jane. So relationship starts to build. So once you leave, a man or a woman, when you see another man or you see another woman, there is always that, what we call a push and a pull. They say opposite poles attract. So whether they are married or they are not, whether you are married or not, when a man sees a woman, there is always a force in between here. So this force can only be cut by discipline. Force is always there. Whether they are pastors, whether they are prophets, when a man sees a woman, there's a force that comes, a force of attraction. So what cuts these forces is discipline, respect, and being, being self-aware. So it is what cuts the forces. But now, when you find people who are not disciplined, people who don't respect themselves, people who have audacity to try to do errors, after that kind of introduction that I've told you, you go back to office, and now you start boasting about your girlfriend to your manager or to a junior manager. That, you know what? Since I started dating that lady, the kind of life I'm leading right now is more than what I've been looking for. That woman is a perfect woman you can ever find in this world. She's faithful, she's hardworking, she cooks my food the way I want, she mops my house, she's not a headache. When I call her, she responds, she knows how to handle me. See, you are growing jealousy in your manager. You are growing jealousy in your junior worker. And that force that I told you that is never cut, when discipline is not in him, he's going to try his luck. Because everyone, including you, is looking for a right woman. Everyone, including you, is looking for a right man. So when you introduce your woman and then you tell a person who is searching that yes, there's a fiancé, we are not even married, and has all the key points he's looking for, who is he not to try his luck? You are putting your woman in a big temptation. Temptation that is going to do two things. It's either going to ruin your relationship with your bestie, who is also your manager, or is going to ruin your relationship with your girlfriend, who's your fiancé. So what are you choosing here? I am teaching people that if you have besties and you want to introduce them to your girlfriends, your boyfriends, your wives, your fiancés, introduction is, hi, John, meet my wife, meet my fiancé, she's Jen, we've been in this relationship, in this marriage for 2 years. Jen, meet Patrick, he's my manager, we've been working for 10 years. Done. There's nothing more than that. You go back to work, let it be work. You go home, let it be you and your wife. Sometimes you go back home and then you start discussing your manager with your wife that, you know what, Peter that I just, I introduced you to is a very loving husband, his family is this, that, he does this, he's very punctual at work, he's very hardworking. You are introducing a thing to your wife or to your fiancé that she's been looking for that you don't have. Listen to me. Your wife, your fiancé, your girlfriend, anything you talk to them is between the two of you. A third party must never be discussed with your fiancé, especially a person of the opposite sex. It is better when you are a man, you are talking about the manager who is a woman. But remember again that when you will start, talking about a woman who is a manager and talking good about them, your wife is going to be jealous. So the thing is, to solve all these issues, discuss work with your colleagues. Discuss your wife with her, your husband with him, your fiancé with them. Anything out of that, never, ever try to make it. Somebody is saying Sandrell is Sandrell is very jealous about me. When she hears about somebody trying to look at me, she can kill somebody here. I don't know whether Sandrell is watching. I did not see her. I don't know if she's around here. So guys, this is the message that I had for you. I told you guys that today I'm going to be very short. 30 minutes is enough for this because I was thinking I would not do it. But I gotten a space to do this live just to tell you, because this thing has been really in my head, because I had coached more than 10 people now that have been suffering from their best friends taking their women. Yesterday we also saw that, but this was a lady who came here and told us that his boyfriend went to sleep with her neighbor. So these are such kind of things that happen. Guys, sometimes your man or your wife is not a bad person, but the things you're doing is that you're making them bad. You see, we are human beings. We are not that powerful. We are not so strong like God is. We can always, trespass. We can always do mistakes. We can always fall. We can always become weak, especially things to do with the heart, feelings, mentality, emotions. These things must be guarded. You have to guard it. Introduction must be brief. Thank you so much, Katsule Gloriam. Do brief introductions of your fiancés, the people you are in love with even your family members. I'm telling you, let me tell you something. I want to be deep with this and let me talk about it, what happens with the families and the reason why you should not even discuss your wife with your parents. You see, a mother's love. You know why most of the mothers don't get along with their daughters-in-law? A mother's love never dies. And when women love, they love full-heartedly. So when a mother gives birth to a son, they love their son so much. So when their son bring a wife at home, and they start talking about that wife, start praising how their wife is so good, start telling their mothers how, let me tell you, this one, what you see in your mom might be a smiling face. She will be very happy about what you have gotten. But the reality, which is not her mistake. In fact, I'm not saying that this is wrong. The reality is we are born jealous. Your mother is gonna be jealous of your wife because she will feel that your wife came and took everything. The love that you used to give your mother, you have withdrawn it and put it on your wife. Your mother will be like, you see, he's always just talking about Mary. Every time Mary this, Mary that. He bought Mary that. I want to do this for Mary. I want to buy this for Mary. So the jealousy will be built. Don't create that jealousy. Protect your fiancé, protect your husband, protect your wife by not sharing these informations to your family members, your mother, your father, your uncle, your brother, your cousins, your nieces, your nephew, anyone that is related to you, your colleagues, your friends, especially your best friends. I told you that cheaters, I'm not talking about generally women, but women who cheat, they cheat only with the people who are so close to you. Your wife could be inside your house 24/7 without going outside, and no man gets into that house that nobody knows, but she could be cheating on you. Your wife could be a housewife staying in your house 24 hours, and no one called a man gets into your house that is not known by your family members, by your friends, but she is cheating on you. So ask me how your friends who is known to the family, your brother, your cousin, your uncles, they're the people who could be sleeping with your wife. As long as your wife does not understand the discipline, the respect, and the red line that is cut between any man who enters your house, your friend, your family members, or anything. The same goes to the man. A man can stay in your house for 24 hours without going outside there. And you could be telling everybody that I have the best man. He never goes out. That man can never cheat me. And then, after some time, you're gonna see your housemaid running outside and spitting, puking, running to the bathroom and puking, and you're like, what's happening? This girl never goes out. She hasn't gone to her home for the last 9 months or 1 year. She doesn't go out unless I send her, and she goes with my kids to buy or to shop. What happened? The man who is not going out of the house has been sleeping with your maid. People might cheat you with the people who are very close to you, the people you trust with them. So the thing is, you must always try to draw the line. Draw a line. Be a disciplined person. Be somebody who understands that anything can happen. Never leave a man in a house with your housemaid. Whether he's a pastor, whether he's a bishop, I'm telling you women, this is the problem with this generation. And that's why some people don't like me. Some people don't like me because they feel that I am too much. But listen to me. You're going to tell me that your husband is a pastor. So there's no need. I can just leave him in the house the full day with my maid. Remember, pastor is a human being. And the devil knows where to go. The devil knows how to tempt, how to, don't ever leave your maid with your husband at home. Your cousins, your sisters, your aunties. You see, I'm not saying all of them gonna do this, but these are the start, they are the initial points where problems start. So people are never told this. No one is going to tell you this. I'm telling you the truth. No one is going to tell you this. Everybody's going to say, just leave them. Trust your husband. You trust him? Yes. You don't trust me? You mean you don't trust me? You cannot leave me with a maid in this house? Who's going to tell you that he's going to sleep with your maid? Who's going to tell you that she is going to sleep with your driver? Your wife could be sleeping with your driver. Do you think your wife is going to tell you that, you know what, don't leave this driver here. Go with him because I will sleep with him? No. And they're not sleeping with the driver because they want it. In fact, they do it. They go pants down and they do it. And after doing it and finishing, they start crying. The driver leaves the bedroom, goes out, and they start crying. They start asking themselves, why? Why did I do this? But then, after they cry, after 2-3 days, they forget. They do the same thing. And it happens each and every day, each and every month. It's something that happens. The only thing that might make it to be known is when something happens, like he gets pregnant, or you come home abruptly and you find him. You know, there's something that I'm reading. There's something that is on social media. I don't know whether it is true. I've not authenticated it, but I read, and a friend of mine from Norway sent me this last night, and I was reading it on WhatsApp. There's a guy in Kenya. I don't know. I don't want to mention names because I'm not so sure. I'm not sure whether it is a true story. But there's a man, a very known man in Kenya, who was a very prominent person in Kenya, in the government, who, you know, has lived with his wife for the last 40 years, and their lastborn is 30 years old, their lastborn, and they have lived together for 40 years. And recently, the wife, came to realize that the husband has been cheating and got married to another woman without her knowledge, and they're having an affair somewhere. So the wife came home and told this guy that, you know what, you think you can cheat on me, right? Then the husband was like, what? Then the lady told the husband that if you are thinking that you have been the one who knows how to do it outside there, go and do a paternity test, what we call the DNA, on the 4 kids that are here. That is the wife telling the husband. You have been living with a woman for 40 years, having kids who the last one is 30 years, meaning that maybe the first kid is something like 50 years. For 50 years, you have been feeding a kid that is not yours, and you're a man. And the wife boldly tells you that, you know what, you've been cheating and you never told me, right? Go and do a DNA test. You know, you don't need to do it because nobody knows the father of a child more than the mom. This is why I bring such kind of topics, because there are so many secrets, and these secrets, nobody talks about it. The religion thinks that when we talk about this, it is so deep, it's not good to talk about it, but we have to speak about it. I have to tell you that if you are a woman, never ever let your maid cook food for your husband. Your maid can cook food for your kids. She can cook food for you, but never allow your housemaid to cook food for your husband. You see, we men, me included, what happens is the only thing that gets to our heart is the stomach. When your maid starts to cook nice food and you eat and you even appreciate that food in front of your husband, what message are you sending to your husband? What message are you sending to your husband? The maid cooks. She's got that mini skirt with a half cut, very tight on top. and she's walking with the servers and bringing it in front of you. You are seated there. You are a woman seated with the mobile phone. You are googling Facebook, replying to WhatsApp texts, and your husband is on the other side on mobile phone, and maybe magazine. And you know how they read magazine. Let me show you something here. Magazine is here. They read magazine like this. That time you're very, for you're very serious with your mobile phone. You're texting and replying to your friends. And your hubby is pretending that he's reading magazine. But one eye is on the magazine. Sometimes the magazine itself is upside down. He's looking at how sweet and hot that maid is. Then the maid comes and puts the food on the table. And when you start to eat, you with your nonsense stupidity as a woman, you start to praise the food. And tell your husband that you see how I know how to select a maid. See how she knows how to cook. What are you trying to tell your husband? By the time you will leave that house, going outside with your friends, your husband will eat, then eat. If you know, you know. I don't want to say much. He's going to eat because you are not around. He's going to eat. He will be full. And once he's full, he will eat again. Sometimes it is not even a character of your man, but it is what you do that pushes them to do what you don't want them to do. You are a man. You bring a driver. You bring a watchman. You bring a houseboy to your home. He's built. He's going to your gym, and he's eating so well. And then you start telling your wife how you selected a guy who knows how to work. See the groundsman. See how he works. This guy never gets tired. He's very strong. He's energetic. He works like a beast. That's why I employed him. He's a very good guy. I need to raise his pay. See, we are human beings. Our emotions are always changed by the circumstances. Our emotions are changed by the circumstances. Sometimes your wife has never, ever looked at your driver twice. But by the time you start discussing him with your wife, telling your wife how he knows how to maneuver panya routes, or we call them shortcuts in town, to get you to work so fast. Telling him how hard and how strong he works. He puts things in your boot. How fast he is in doing everything that you want him to do. That's the time your wife will start looking at him twice. And that's the time your wife will realize that, so he's this handsome. She has never seen that handsomeness. But that's the time your wife will see that your driver is very handsome. I love you guys. My name is Johngora, aka The Motivator. I try to bring these things